the Banana Splits movie.
What's going on, everybody? So I just got done watching the Banana Splits movie yesterday at Redbox. As soon as it came out the Redbox, I grabbed it. And I watched it, slept on it, and now I'm reviewing this today. So, what is this movie even about? Well, the Banana Splits movie is based off of a 1968 TV show from Hanna-Barbera that only aired for 2 years before it was canceled. And this movie is the film adaptation, except now it's a horror movie instead of a kid's TV show. So if you didn't know that going into this, or you bought this for your kid, like maybe they'll like what I liked when I was a kid. No, this is not the same thing. This is a horror movie, so don't be confused. It is a horror movie. And it's about this little kid, and it's his birthday, so him and his family go to his favorite TV show for a live taping, and when they get there, behind the scenes, the show's being canceled, so the engineer makes these robots that are the star of the show evil, and they put on a killer performance. This is basically like a script that was Five Nights at Freddy's, and they say, let's make it Hanna-Barbera Banana Split instead. And I have to think that because Five Nights at Freddy's is the whole robot mascot Chuck E. Cheese thing, and the Banana Splits was real people in costumes, and I feel like this movie would have worked better if they just went that route. This movie's not all bad, although I will say I was a little underwhelmed. If you're wanting a quick answer right now before I go into spoilerish territory, there's not much to spoil, but I will dive into this film and spoil some things. So if you just want like a quick answer like yay or nay, I would say nay, but if you are a fan of cheesy B horror movies, maybe. Maybe. I would just rent this for like $1, as cheap as you can get it, if not free, somehow, without torrenting. I don't condone stealing, but I would see this as cheap as possible if you're that person. But if you're just a typical horror fan, like just like a horror fan in general, and you're like smart horror or like, like The Exorcist or Hereditary, this isn't up your alley at all. This is pretty B territory. It's bad. But is it bad in a good way? Let's get into it. Because there are movies that are bad that are good at the same time, if you know what I mean. Like, I like Sleepaway Camp, I like Chopping Mall, I like Drive Thru, I like Hatchet, even though I wouldn't consider that to be horror, although some would say I like Hatchet. I'm a big fan. There are good things about this movie. I will say the biggest thing that most people take away from it, from the reviews that I saw on Amazon, apparently this movie has 100% Rotten Tomatoes. I think that's bullshit. It must be one review. 100%. But the one good thing that I can take away from this movie, that I did take away from it, is just the practical effects and gore. This movie has a pretty decent body count. There's lots of practical effects and gore gags throughout. You got dismemberments, or like people getting limbs, and like just all kinds of awesome stuff. So there's definitely gore. And if this movie didn't have gore, this movie would have nothing to offer. Because that's the big thing that this movie has that's good. This movie's rated R for gore, and that's it, really. There's no cussing in it at all. There's no sex. There's no nudity. So, gore alone. So, does it save the film? Not really, but there's some gore, so good job. I like that this movie's actually based off of a real cartoon. Like, this isn't just some random cartoon. This is real. This is an actual cartoon, and I don't know why they chose this one. They could have chose anything. Tom and Jerry, choose one. Choose something more modern, or like, that's another thing. I wish this was taking place in 1968 or 1970. Like, if this took place in 1970, it would have worked so much better. But I guess budgetary reasons, it's more expensive to do a time period movie. But I don't know. I like that it's a real TV show. They use the real characters, the names, the costumes, maybe even the set of the show. So I really appreciate that. I thought that was pretty cool. They even used the song, and the song's like redone by Fall Out Boy. Patrick Stump, he does the score for this movie, and I'll say that the score overall it's all right. It's not terrible, but it does its job, I guess. It's okay. And since, like I said, this is like a Five Nights at Freddy's type of premise, almost, pretty damn close. I like that there's a security guard who's like, yeah, late at night when I'm working my third shift, I hear them walking on their own, doing things. I'm like, that's like Five Nights at Freddy's. So I like that little like wink to like Five Nights at Freddy's fans.
Sometimes at night, I see the splits riding around in the little cars, laughing and singing.
All right, the comedy in this movie is all right. I did laugh and chuckle quite a few times. So if you're coming to this for the comedy, you'll get some, but it's not a laugh out loud riot. It's not hilarious. a lot of it's just kind of serious, really. But I did find the stepdad funny. I like that Stevie, the main, like the human character of the show, I like that he's drunk behind the scenes. He hates his job, so he's always getting wasted before each set. It makes sense for that character and his life and just his hatred towards the job. It makes sense. I like that he gets drunk. It's funny. And kind of diving into my spoilers, I like that we get two robots that fight to the death. I thought that was kind of funny. I like how the mom turns in. She goes from like, the typical middle-aged soccer mom PTA meeting type of mom, and then she, like, on a drop of a hat, she just switches to like, I'm gonna break your fucking neck like a twig if you touch my kid. Like, she turns into mama bear like that. She gets pretty badass. And I like the little girl, the friend of the main little boy, the girl that gets invited and she doesn't even want to show up. I thought she was the more entertaining character. I thought she was a pretty decent child actress, but they don't do much with her. And that's a little negative. Like, all these positives I give you, there's also a negative attached. But yeah, like, she doesn't do much at all. But I liked her. I thought she was pretty cool. I like that the mascots make the victims partake in their little sick games that are part of the actual show. So I like to at least utilize parts of the show and, like, make it sinister now. Like, they put them up on there and they're, like, throwing pies at them and killing them. So I like that they did that. So I was like, are they going to use the show and any elements of it to, kill people with, or are they just going to use random weapons? Now for the things that I do not like, and I will say that the biggest one to me was just the tone. Really, like, to me, this film feels like it just has like an identity crisis. It's like it doesn't know what it wants to be. Does it want to be a serious movie, or does it want to be a mascot robots going on a killing spree, goofy B horror movie? It kind of just keeps going back and forth in between both of them. Like, you get all these like drama scenes with like the family, and it's like trying to build these characters. But by the end of the movie, it's all useless because you don't care about any of them. Like, I wasn't rooting for anybody in this movie. And the reason being is because I just knew they were going to make it. So there was no reason. This movie doesn't, like, take risk. It doesn't kill children. The mascots are taking the children. They're making them watch the show. So, I don't know, like, it was just so serious. And every time it got serious was, like, right after a corny scene. So it was, like, interwoven in between. Like, it would be like, all right, really goofy. And now it's, like, serious. And, you got the son who's 19, still lives at home with his parents. He doesn't have a job. And he doesn't really have confidence. He's shy around girls. He just wants this girl. And then the mom is, like, in denial about what her husband's doing. And he's clearly cheating on her from frame one. It's not a shock at all. Just all this, like, family drama. And it's, like here, like, just sprinkled throughout the whole movie. So it's, like, really fun and corny. And it's, like, it's, like, the pace of the movie, like, slams on the brakes every time there's family drama or just dull character moments that don't involve killing or the mascots or any sort of tension at all. There's no tension in this film at all, and it takes itself way too serious. Take all that, like, I'm not against character development, but does this even qualify as character development? I don't know. Like, it's just not necessary. It doesn't feel like it fits in this movie. It shouldn't be here. It should just know what it is and go for broke. Just make it fun. Make it a funny-ass, gory, cheesy, zany B horror movie the whole way through, like a chopping mall. But instead, they're like, let's insert the son, and he's talking to this girl, and he likes her, and then by the end of the movie, do they kiss or hold hands or do anything? No, it goes nowhere. And the whole step-dabbing, the dick, whatever, that's just to make his death satisfying, and it is pretty satisfying. But yeah, just take all that out. It's an okay movie. It's pretty okay. Just make it fun. Like, this movie has potential. It could have been so much better. Like, let's just put it that way. Like, it had potential. It has that premise. It has the gore. It has the little mascots going on that are kind of creepy. But they just kind of fail on it because they try to do this other thing. Let's make it serious. Let's try to build these characters. Let's give them a story. Give them emotions. Except for the children, because they're never fucking scared at all. And I wouldn't care for that if the whole movie was just dumb and fun. But because they keep trying to get serious, I'm like, okay, why aren't these kids serious? Like, they're never scared or they never feel like they're in danger at all. Even when they're being locked in a cage, like, the thought never crosses their mind, like, this could be my last day on Earth. I could never see my parents again. My parents might be dead. They're not scared at all. And I have an 8-year-old niece or cousin the same age as these kids, and she'd be crying like a little bitch the whole time. So it's bullshit. They should be showing emotion. Like, what, the kids don't have that acting range? Is that the excuse? I doubt it. And the characters are just stereotypes. Just the stoner son, the cheating husband, the mom who turns into like the the final girl who just knows how to kick ass all of a sudden. And then the son, I think, is the worst actor in this movie. He talks so quiet, and he's whispering, and it's so annoying. Like, the whole time, from moment one, I just knew, right when I first heard like the first line from his mouth, I was like, oh no, is this what he's going to talk like the whole time? Yep. And I heard him in an interview. He does not always sound like that. So I don't know what the fuck is wrong with his character. Why does he talk like that? It's so annoying. I think I kind of talked about it earlier, but the fact that these robots are robots is just... That, you see, again, that would work. Like, huh, that's funny, because they're so clearly not robots or people in suits. That would work if everything was on that same level of corny and fun and stupid. But it's, like I said, it's not. They should have just made it people in suits who got disgruntled and upset that they were about to lose their jobs, and they've been working so hard and long. You know, that's what she said about on this fucking show, and then they just lose it. They're like, all right, last day, we're gonna kill these people, you know. But instead, it's like robots. One of them gets programmed to be evil, and then the next scene, they're all for evil. Like, I feel like there's something missing there. I do feel like the editing was kind of poor on this movie too. Like, it just kept like leaving scenes a little too early. It's like, all right, it's getting real tense. Like, the guy's getting chased, and then it's like, all right, let's cut over here to this bullshit that's not interesting. It's like, no, come on, go back. The stunts are shot kind of poor. There's people that fall, and even that's just like shot poorly. And then there's this guy Thad. This is me nitpicking. This is like the nitpick section. All right, so we got this guy Thad, and he's like live streaming. Hey, here at the Banana Splits, I'm 28 years old, and I still love this show. Nostalgia is a powerful thing. And he's got this Asian girlfriend who is just as crazy about it as him. And every time he pulls up his phone, it like immediately hits like go live. There's always like 218 people watching. And it happens twice, like at the beginning and then towards the end of this guy's on-screen appearances. Both times, 218. So I was like, so he just always has 218 people following no matter what. And I like how the woman's hand goes from like mangled to not mangled to mangled to not mangled. And then she's like climbing up this ladder with both hands, and like her hand's not mangled no more. Just a little nitpick. And then there's like off-camera kills. Like the mechanic guy who is missing 2 fingers for what reason? Where did his fingers go? How did they get chopped off? Why? What happened? Did I miss something? Maybe I was typing notes and then I missed something, but why was he missing fingers? And his character, whatever. I'm not going to get into it. I like that this guy gets drumsticks in his eyes, and then the mom is like, what are those? And it's like, they're drumsticks, you moron. And then we get this Evil Lives On ending that sets up a sequel, which is hopefully better than this one. Maybe it's going to be the Teletubbies versus the Banana Splits, or the Wiggles, humans versus the mascots. But it doesn't make sense because the writing, I guess, or maybe I wasn't paying attention. But she gets this mask or this helmet, and she puts it on, and does it brainwash her? Because that's the only thing I can think of that makes it make any sort of sense at all. Like how she flips into this psycho, because she clearly ran over that guy on purpose, like clearly on purpose. So did the helmet like brainwash her, and now she's like a robot mascot herself? Explain that to me, because I don't know what the fuck that means. But yeah, we get Evil Lives On ending, and then it's over. But yeah, final thoughts. I was just a bit underwhelmed. And I had really no expectations going into this. I just found out about this movie at like the 11th hour, like just 2 days ago. I was like, wait, what? There's a movie coming out called Banana Splits? What's about? Trailer, looked at it, and I was like, oh, okay, coming out tomorrow. But then I get it, and it's just like, this isn't that good for a bad movie. Like, I thought this was going to be like so bad that it's good, but it's just kind of bad, and that's it. It was underwhelming. It wasn't that funny. and the kills weren't all that creative. They're kills that I've seen in other movies, like, the Wrong Turn franchise. They got one in here very has a strong resemblance to a kill in Wrong Turn 4. You get, like, something shoved down the throat, kind of like Sorority Row with a bottle. So just, like, it's not all that creative, and there's even, like, a Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 moment with, like, a room full of dead people, and it's like, how the fuck did they have time to kill all those people, drag their bodies in there? Like, logical issues. I'm sure I could write, like, a whole page of logical issues, but I'm just going to excuse it, because it's just a low-budget horror movie. But at the end of the day, I can't recommend this one to anybody unless it's, like, you can watch it for free. So I'll just say, when it comes to the Banana Splits movie, save your money, because to me, this was just wasted time. Has potential. Hopefully a sequel will be made, and it's going to be even more bloody, more awesome, and a better even tone. Because that was my biggest problem, was the tone. I just wish it was fun throughout. But what did you think about this movie? Have you seen it yet? It's at Redbox. You can go check it out right now for $1.75 if you want. But let me know what you thought about it in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you like what you've seen here, you can just hit this like button to show me how much you liked it. And if you're not a subscriber, you can become one right now just by clicking on my cartoon face in about 5 seconds. And until next time, auf Wiedersehen.
Yeah.